So I just finished watching the Loki series finale. So last time I reacted to the finale of Loki, or the season finale of Loki, I said that the multiverse had been unleashed. Well, now I mean it this time, for real, for real. This time the multiverse has been unleashed in the safest possible way. Yo, Loki single handedly saved the multiverse, and he became the god of stories. And he created the multiverse with in the form of the Yggdrasil, which, for those of you who don't know, is the Norse is called the world tree in Norse mythology, and the Yggdrasil is supposedly the center of the universe, right? In Norse mythology, and it's like where it houses all nine realms of the world. So Asgard, Midgard, Niflheim, Svartalheim, like Helheim, all the realms of the world in the world tree called the Yggdrasil, and at the center is a snake that keeps it held together. And Loki is that now. He's literally he's that now. Um I said this before, um very naively, thinking that season one's finale was going to lead us directly into the multiverse of madness. It kind of did, but not really, you know? But, this, even though Multiverse of Madness is long since passed, this series finale, because I think they're not going to do any more seasons of it. I didn't see a post credit scene saying that they were. But this finale, um, is going to lead us directly into Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Putting it out there right now, this is gonna lead us into those next two Avengers films. Somehow, some way, like, so. And here's my thoughts on that. But before I get into that, I'll get into that later. But before I get into that, I just also wanted to shout out. I legit thought that Loki was gonna have to kill Sylvie. I legit was thinking that. I know a lot of people were. A lot of people were thinking that too. To be honest, I kind of found myself rooting for him to do it at a certain point. I don't know if anyone else felt this way, but like at a certain point, I felt myself rooting for him to just get it over with and kill her. Especially since I know that a lot of people weren't exactly pleased with Sylvie's character this season. But no, but yeah, but also I just loved the dialogue between Jonathan Majors and Tom Hiddleston. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so good. And I don't know if anyone else felt this way, but like, did anyone else kind of get Game of Thrones vibes anytime they were talking with each other? Like when they were talking with each other at the Citadel at the end of time? Because like their conversation about fixing everything, fixing the loom, breaking the loom, restarting everything, like that whole conversation really reminded me of that one scene in Game of Thrones when Varys was talking to Littlefinger about chaos and how chaos is a pit versus chaos is a ladder, right when they were in front of the Iron Throne. Do y'all remember that? And that's what that scene kind of reminded me of, and it's fitting considering that in a way they were fighting, they were both discussing and talking about a throne, like even though they were talking about it in different ways, they were talking about a throne. And I enjoyed that. And at the end of the day, they both ended up getting to sit on the iron on their version of the Iron Throne, whereas Littlefinger and Varys, of course, didn't. But still, I liked that their conversation still generally was talking about a throne and chaos versus order, which is what this whole series has been about in a way. and Glorious Purpose. Oh god, also I love how they came full circle with that. The whole Ouroboros thing came full circle with the first episode of the series being named Glorious Purpose, and the last episode being named Glorious Purpose. That was mwah, well done for the writers. That was beautiful. But yeah, now that being said, on to my theories about how this will lead into Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. There are two. There's probably more, but in my mind, there's only two possible ways that this can turn out. So, Kang Dynasty happens, and either one of the Kang variants or a group of the Kang variants, who knows, discover the Citadel at the end of time and they fight Loki for it. Also, we didn't see what really happened to Ravonna at the end of the series. We didn't really see what happened to her. Personally, I think she got transported back in time. Because you saw, like, because from what I could tell, all of the branches were in the Yggdrasil. All of them, like even the ones that were pruned, were in the Yggdrasil tree. So my guess is that she's in one of those branches that was formerly pruned, and I saw a pyramid from Egypt in there. I think that Ravonna traveled to the timeline branch where Kang was an Egyptian pharaoh. That's what I think. That's my theory personally. I could be wrong, but I think that's where they're going with that. Which means that Ravonna's coming back. And she knows a lot about the TVA, so yeah, she's gonna be back, and she's gonna be back with a vengeance. And she's gonna tell that Kang variant about oh! See, I just came up with a whole new thing. So that actually kind of goes back to what I was saying about Kang. Either one or more of the Kang variants are gonna figure out what the Time Variance Authority is. They're gonna go to the end of time. They're gonna fight Loki to take control. They might even kill him. And that's what I'm afraid of, because I've watched this man die too many times, okay? I've watched him die too many times to watch him die again. They need to figure something else out. Either they kill him, here's my thing. They're gonna dethrone him at some point. I know they're gonna dethrone him. Because right now there's peace, there's happiness, there's peace and love and joy and all that in the multiverse. That's fine. But at some point, one of those variants is gonna show up and they're gonna dethrone him, and that's not gonna be good. They're either gonna kill him flat out, doubtful, considering that he was able to grasp all of those branches. Like, they might be able to have the technology to do it, but considering that he's now the god of stories officially, doubtful. It's very doubtful. So he, if they're lucky, if they find some way to do it that makes sense, they'll probably kill him, or they'll mortally wound him. And I think that that's what they're gonna do. So a Kang variant is gonna mortally wound Loki at the end of time, take control of everything, or just throw everything into chaos so that they can recreate the TVA in their image, like He Who Remains said. And Loki is going to be forced to do what Loki, the god of stories, does in the comics, which is assemble the multiverse Avengers. So he's going to be traveling throughout multiverses. He's going to be traveling throughout time, assembling the Avengers. So that means we're going to get Iron Man back. We're going to get Black Widow. We're going to get Captain America. We're going to get Hulk, Thor. Okay, that's one thing that I really need. When this happens, because it's no longer an if, it's a when. Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars are coming out of this. This is what leads into those two movies. I'm telling you right now. So when he does assemble the Multiverse Avengers, because we know he's going to, at this point, we know he's gonna have to, at this point. When he does, Thor needs to be the first person he assembles. Thor or Iron Man. Those are the first two that need to be assembled. Thor, because we just need to have that moment of happiness again. We need to have that reunion. Fans have been craving that since his death in Infinity War. Like, we need that. So that's gonna happen. and yeah, so Loki's gonna assemble the multiverse Avengers. They're gonna fight Kang, or maybe, yeah. So yeah, they're gonna fight Kang, and then they're gonna I think Doom is next. Like, they're gonna fight Kang. And then Doom is gonna come out of that. Doctor Doom is gonna come out of that, and then Doctor Doom is gonna use. I think Doctor Doom is gonna use Scarlet Witch, to, you know, do the whole Secret Wars thing, and maybe we might get a Loki versus Wanda, like this version of Loki versus Wanda, whatever version. I don't think Scarlet Witch is dead. Our Scarlet Witch, she's not dead. I don't think she's dead. And even if she was, who's to say that in one of these many multiverses that Loki is now the guardian of didn't become the Scarlet Witch? So yeah, I think Scarlet Witch is coming back, and there's gonna be a fight between those two. I think so, and that's gonna cause Battle World because Loki's the god of stories, which means he's the guardian of the multiverse essentially now, and Scarlet Witch is a Nexus being. So those two clashing is going to cause Battle World, which is exactly what Doctor Doom wants to have happen, and then that's going to cause the end of everything, which leads into the MCU's little reboot that they're going to do at the end of all of this. And that's how it ends. That's, or more or less how it ends. That's going to be like the climactic battle. It's going to be Loki and his Avengers versus Doctor Doom, Wanda, and whoever else is on his team. That's going to be Battle World. Boom. Case closed. But also, I love how they just kind of wrote off, like, they very subtly hinted that Ant-Man Quantumania was not in the main MCU canon. I love that. I love that they just kind of discontinued that. They're like, in the episode, Mobius was like, "Yeah, we have a variant from 616 adjacent that was causing a bit of a disturbance, but it seems like that's been handled." Clearly talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and I love that. I haven't even finished Quantumania yet, but from the reviews I've heard, it's pretty bad, and the only good thing about it is the post-credit with Victor Timely, so them nodding to that and saying that, yeah, no, it's not a part of our mainstream timeline, it's a part of another one. That's brilliant. I love that. But yeah, so overall, I would give this show a 20 out of 10. It's not even a 10 out of 10. It's a 20 out of 10. And yeah, I can't wait to see what happens next. I can't wait to see if maybe somehow, some way, Loki is able to see Thor somehow. I just really want him to hug his brother. I just really want him to hug his brother. But yeah, this show was great. It's been a great ride. And this show will live on in all of our hearts for all time. Always. Peace.